So, as Joel mentioned, he and my brother Jeff are going to come give a couple words here shortly about why we sing songs and how we can worship God in our singing. But my goal today is to go over the basics of how to sing songs. So to start, in Colossians 3:16, Paul writes, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs with thankfulness in your hearts to God." So many of us are used to singing hymns, right? And most Americans could at least hum the tune to Amazing Grace. So really, what is the distinction? Well, a hymn is a song that directly praises, honors, or gives thanks to God. A spiritual song is much broader. It's a song with spiritual, godly themes that aims to encourage the body of Christ to continue in their walk with Him. However, one type of song that has often been neglected is the Psalms. A psalm, of course, is an inspired song or poem recorded in the book of Psalms. And many of these psalms would have been sung by those who read them. For example, there is a section in Psalm 120 through 134 called the Songs of Ascent, which would have been sung by pilgrim Israelites as they made their way up to Jerusalem for festivals. So, like I said, I want to give a quick overview of the practicalities of how to read the music in our psalters. So if you would, if you've already closed your psalters, please reopen them to Psalm 100C so you can follow along. And as you turn, I think y'all say, so you could kind of call this section the anatomy of the psalter, I guess. If you look at the top left, this is the most obvious part, you have the number and letter in bold font. Of course, this tells you which song you're singing as well as the version. So in this case, this is Psalm 100C. 100 tells you that we're singing the 100th psalm. C tells you that we are singing the third version of this psalm in our psalter. So if you go to the left, you can see we've got 100A, 100B, 100C. So there are a few options for the congregation to sing. In the middle of the top of the page, you have the title. So this title of this psalm is "All People That on Earth Do Dwell." Now, if you skip all the way down to the bottom left, you'll see the credits for this psalm, namely William Keffa for the words and Luis Burgoyes for the tune. At the bottom right, you'll find that the name of the tune is the Old Hundredth, which is also the tune that many of us know from singing the doxology. Below that is something that's really interesting that I didn't understand until I started preparing for this entirely, but that is the meter of the psalm. So this meter tells us the number of syllables in each phrase. So in this case, the meter is 8.8.8.8 LM. The first 8 tells us that there are 8 syllables in the first phrase. All people that on earth do dwell. The second 8 tells us that there are 8 syllables in the second phrase. Sing to the Lord with cheerful voice. The third, that there are 8 syllables in the third phrase. Him serve with fear, his praise forth tell. And the fourth, of course, that there are 8 syllables in the fourth phrase. Come ye before him and rejoice. So very simply, that's just a good code to tell us how many syllables are in each line. Or each phrase, sorry. The LM at the end stands for long meter, which is just an abbreviation for the 8.8.8.8 meter scheme of this song. Other common meters, which can be found in the index of meters at the back of your psalter, all the way somewhere back in the back, you'll see that many are written in the meter 6.6.8.6, which is known as SN, or short meter. And then there's also another one that is 8.6.8.6, known as CM, or common meter. Another letter you may see is D, which just means double. So the psalm repeats the meter twice. So instead of 4 lines in a stanza or verse, you will have 8. And you'll occasionally see a refrain, which just means that you'll repeat some part of the tune as a chorus at the end of each stanza. So I know that's a lot of very specific nuts and bolts of technicalities of that small part of your psalter. But honestly, meter is a great tool for the Christian, and in your devotion, your family worship practices, it opens the ability for you to use the psalter, even if you can't read music. If the song you want to see is 8.8.8.8 LM, you can sing that song, no matter what the music says. You can sing that song to the tune of the doxology, or the Old Hundredth. If it is 8.6.8.6 CM, or common meter, you can sing it to the tune of Amazing Grace. If in 6.6.8.6, or short meter, you can sing the tune of Crown Him with Many Crowns. And this makes the Psalter a highly effective tool for congregational singing and family worship as we sing the inspired worship songs of God. So that's enough about meter. Moving into the actual music on the page, you'll find really two lines of music with words between them. The top is called the treble clef, denoted by this curly sign at the top here on the left. The bottom is called the bass clef, denoted by the sign on that. Next to that is the key signature, and this shows us what key the song is in, and informs us which notes will be sharp or flat throughout the song if it's that key. For example, in this song, the key is G major, which we know because of the single sharp on the note F. And in music notation, a pound sign or hashtag, as it's commonly known today, is called a sharp, and an italic-looking B is a flat. A sharp raises the note a half step, and a flat lowers it a half step. Next to the key signature, that little sharp sign, you'll see the time signature. And in our song here, it is 4/4. This means that there are 4 beats for each measure, or set of beats. And 4/4 is one of the most common times, and it can be conducted as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys saw me doing that in the last song. Another common time signature you may see is 3/4 throughout our psalter, which is 3 beats per measure, so it can be conducted as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The downstroke in conducting is always on beat 1. So as you're singing along, this can be helpful to keep you on track. If you see me do this, that means we're on beat 1. Each measure is contained within a vertical bar. So in Psalm 100C, you will find 4 notes between each vertical line, kind of set by set. These, of course, this song makes it really easy because each note in the psalm is a quarter note, which means that there is 1 beat per note. This song is slightly different than the standard notation because the song actually starts on beat 4, which you can see in the singular note on the word all at the very beginning. This is called a pickup note, and so this means that we start singing on beat 4 instead of beat 1. So how do you actually read the music? If you look at the notes above and below the words, you'll find that there are 4 different notes on each word. These psalters are written in 4-part harmony, as is much congregational music. Generally, the ladies or children who sing higher would take the topmost note in the treble clef, while ladies or children who can sing more middle or lower range would sing the lower note in the treble clef, so the second note down. Men who sing higher would sing the top note in the bass clef, which of course is the bottom here, and then men who sing lower would sing the bottom note of the bass clef. And this is where if you've ever heard the term SATB singing, that's where that comes from. It stands for soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, followed by the order laid out previously. For most congregational singing, many will sing the top notes, both male and female, because that's the melody. You can always find the melody at the very top note in the top clef. And these are the notes that I'll sing as I lead the songs, but if you would like, please do experiment in singing some of the harmonies below the melody line. Also, if you can't sing low enough to match the way the leader is singing, feel free to sing an octave higher, an octave lower. So while I sing, all people that on earth do dwell, ladies or anyone who can't sing that, you can sing, all people that on earth do dwell. So obviously that's out of my range, but it would be in some of y'all. So feel free to sing where it's comfortable for you to match. And then while you're singing, you can kind of just follow it like you're writing a wave almost. You can follow that top line, and if it goes down, move your voice up. If it goes up, move your voice up. That's, of course, very basic, but helpful. A couple final notes on the other things you'll see in your psalter. We're almost done here. Above the clef, you see the names of the chords that can be played to accompany the tune. So here you've got G, D, E, N, B, and E, M. These are just telling you exactly what chords fit the notes there. And this is helpful for musicians, such as especially guitarists, to play along to the tune, but also some pianists. And then there's an interesting symbol in Psalm 100C that you don't see in all of them. It's this little arch with a dot in it. And that's called a fermata, or a bird's eye. And this tells you that there is a grand pause in the song. So when you see this, watch the song leader to signal you to continue. So that will hold longer than a quarter note, and we'll all just go together. So I know that's excuse me. I know that's a lot of information to take in, but these tools should be useful for you as we sing the songs together in church, with our families and family worship, and even in private in our own personal devotions. So if you would, with that said, please rise, and if you're not at Psalm 100C, turn there and we will put everything into practice together. So as usual, I'll sing a melody once to prepare us to sing, and as I do, notice how the way that I sing the melody matches that top line.